serious over here. It's week 20 of the 2025 Street Parking Vault, and you have earned your way into what we're doing this week. We got HUANGLONG. Your Program A version of this workout, I hate to tell you, is 30 rounds. Each round is a devil power clean into 2 alternating dumbbell shoulder rack lunges and 3 dumbbell thrusters. Your score for this workout is your total time with the goal of 11 to 16 minutes. All right, you guys, it's week 20 of the 2025 Street Parking Vault, and of the workout is as follows. 10 rounds, 2 burpees, 3 single dumbbell hang power cleans, 4 alternating dumbbell goblet lunges, and 5 single dumbbell squat and press. Your score for this workout is your total time with the goal of 8 to 13 minutes.
All right, week 20, HUANGLONG.
HUANGLONG workout.
This is a HUANGLONG workout. We decided to go just recommended weight, 25, 40. I'm not trying to be a hero today. All right, let's do it. HUANGLONG. Wow. All right, well, this workout is definitely getting the community talking.
Okay, I was upset about this. Are you leaving, Krui? Okay, I was upset about this because I tested this workout.
You tested
and
this
it wasn't
workout.
that long ago that I tested it, so I was like, how did I get assigned to this?
Oof. Well, before we started, you were very clear and said, hey, don't try to do any shying of movement. Like, I want you to do a full power clean and then lunge. You told me. I don't want to see any.
Yeah, I know how you get. I know how you
it's
get
like
with
a little.
so for those of you that are also thinking, I'll just go with from a clean right into that first lunge.
Right.
Let's not, because people do that with.
You want to challenge people not to do that?
I'm going to tell them that they're actually not doing the workout if they're doing that.
Oh.
Because it's a power clean. It's a dumbbell power clean.
That's right. That's right. It's not a.
It's not a clunge. It's not a devil clunge.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So you're actually like skipping a movement if you do that.
Totally.
So
Okay,
it wasn't
cool.
a challenge. It was me encouraging you
Just to do it right.
Do the actual movements.
Yeah, do it right. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have any issues counting on this one?
A
What up,
little
Zane?
bit. What were we doing? I think we were doing
You
like
had-
sets of 3 at first.
Yeah, you had like 30 tallies, I think, up on that thing.
Yeah, I think we were doing like sets of 3. So a couple other people tested this, like Coach Seb had tested this, and I read the notes about when he did it, and he was trying to do sets of 5 every
Ouch.
time. And it took him much longer because I think he had to have been resting for a really long time.
What did we do? What did we do?
I think we were doing 3s for a bit.
We were, right?
Yeah, and honestly, this whole workout is the second and third thruster of each.
It's the second and yeah, totally.
The thrusters. It wasn't as bad for me. I think I mentioned in the tip that's already on social media that this was like when we filmed this, it was the final week of Project April.
Yeah.
And so I had been using the 35-pound kettlebells. So when I did it this time, the thrusters weren't as like, I felt like I was going to fail thrusters the first time I did it.
That's right.
I never really felt like that until the very end on this one, but I felt it pretty early the first time I did it.
Yeah, Monica, you're absolutely right. This workout is fun. But you're going to hurt as much as you want to make it hurt. You know, but this complex, it flows very smoothly and it transitions very smoothly. So it sets you up for success. Okay, even if you went singles, you'd be good to go. Which I think at some point we did go to singles.
Oh, I went to singles after like the first 15, I want to say.
Right? We went to singles at some point. Mm-hmm. Now, there was a part here where you started to go faster than me. And I started to panic. I was like, no. So then I had to hold on for like a set of 4, I think.
Oh, yeah. I think
it's
around, you asked me, you'll see it. You asked me what number are you on, and I think I said 16 or something like that. And that's when you
totally
caught me. Because you're just more competitive and care about that.
Totally. Yeah. Well, Salvi asked, are you going to do this again? Are you done? I said, I'm down to do it with kettlebells.
Oof.
I'm down to do it with kettlebells.
So I think so before we'll get into this week of programming, but everybody, I made that post a while ago, 2 weeks ago. This would be week 3 of me doing all 6 days.
6 days, right?
I am going to skip this, and here's why.
Okay.
I'm going to do Tuesday's workout today. I'm going to go a day ahead because on Saturday, we're filming a vault.
We're filming a vault on
So I
Saturday.
am going to miss this knowing that I'm doing a vault.
Well, are we doing it Friday or Saturday? That's a good question.
Oh,
we have,
I don't know. You're planning this trip, not me.
I had it planned for Friday as soon as we land.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is I'm skipping one day.
Right.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do
Totally.
6 days.
Can we go to the Starbucks by my old house? If it's still there?
What's the significance of the Starbucks by your old house?
I don't know, just because, remember, at that time, I was like, you're like, let's go get a coffee. I was like,
Oh, that Starbucks.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'll get a chai tea frap.
That is so weird.
I got a chai tea frap.
So the reason why we had to go to Starbucks is because he didn't have coffee at his house, you guys.
Yeah, when
like
we
I
first
was
met.
sleeping at this man's house.
I was on that Keurig. Life.
And I would wake up in the morning and he had like Keurig pods that had like dust on them because nobody was using them.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So we can go there.
Okay.
That'd be so funny. Like,
Great.
oh, hey, let's roll up
If
in
it's
there.
still there.
All right.
She's
It's okay, Chloe. She's okay.
Come here.
All right, so we were able to hold. Did we hold sub 10? We did, or we were like
I
in that. No,
can't- No.
I don't think we did go
it's
sub 10.
We're about to find out.
See, I kept going. Oh, we're going still together. Oh, look at that strategy, stepping out and stepping in. There was no jumping in at that point.
It's not worth it.
Look at this depth that we're hitting here. Flawless.
Yeah, we're a squatting family.
There we go.
We're not a swimming family, but we're a squatting family.
No, we're not swimming.
Oh yeah, this is when it gets real.
They should have just shut off the music at this. We should have just shut off the music and.
You just have to. Okay, so tips for you guys that are going to be doing this. I never, on either time that I did it, broke up the actual complex. I mean, I guess technically you could, like, if you needed to take a break before you do your last thruster. I never got to that point. The most mental fatiguing part of this is once you get to doubles or singles, keeping your rest time under control, because each rep is like, let's time a rep. Let's see how long just one cycle through the complex is. Here you go. Okay, 6:05 to
this right here.
I mean,
the song fits the mood of how we were feeling at the time.
you're looking at 15 seconds every time you do a single cycle. I remember I was going to try to keep 4. I was going to try to do 2 every 30 seconds.
That's
right. I was going to try to do 2 every 30 seconds. And in the first minute, that already became like, this isn't going to be possible because it wasn't enough rest. So I had a whole thing going into it that I was going to try to hold 4 a minute. And that went away pretty quick. This might be around the time where you asked me where I'm at.
What was I doing? I was like really focused in on.
Where you at?
18?
This is when you realized that you were behind me.
I was. Okay, this is where I pushed it.
He's making it. Look at the decision making that's happening.
Oh
in
yeah,
your
I
mind.
committed. I was like, I'm going for it.
I should have known too that as soon as I told you, you were gonna like.
I was gonna go paint cave.
Yeah.
You want one of them?
Who are you just watching us?
Oh,
So at this point, I would do 1, and then you can see like I'm watching the clock,
Just
and I
hold
was
it like
resting
that.
like
Hold it.
7 seconds or something like that. But this is where you went unbroken for a minute, right?
This is where I went. Yeah, I started to go bigger sets here. I chose to commit to the pain. Oh, and this is where we're almost losing the kiddos too.
Oh yeah.
I hear Daddy.
You can hear Banny. Huh? That's right. Oh man,
That adds to it.
the kids stressed because you know you're on a timer and at that point.
Yeah, they're about to lose it. See, I was like watching the clock and doing like a 7-second rest every time. This is the one. This is the one
I got you,
where
I
you're like,
got
with this round, I'm gonna catch up.
I did it. Oof.
Here's the thing. Here's your strategy on your competitiveness. You asked me what number I was on, and I told you, and then I said what number you on. You didn't tell me.
I didn't?
No.
Oh, that's my
So I didn't know that I was one ahead of you because I typically do okay.
See, that's a no rep. I no rep on that one.
Oh, so you're cheating.
Yeah,
So, like, if I know that I'm just slightly ahead of somebody, I do pretty well at like, okay, I just have to stay ahead of this person. But you didn't share it with me.
I didn't share it. That was very mean.
Yeah.
That was very mean. Yeah. What's up? You done?
So what you guys are going to be feeling, you can see here that I'm not like panicky as far as my heart rate and my breathing and all that stuff necessarily. It's the shoulder fatigue for me. What was it for you?
My shoulders.
Yeah, shoulder
Totally.
fatigue.
It was
Like
the third thruster.
it's not that I couldn't keep moving my body, like breath wise and heart rate wise. It was that it was that I was gonna fail a thruster if I kept doing that.
Okay, great.
You guys can see Cruy and his need for attention right now.
Mm-hmm. It's very high.
What are you doing?
Now, how would you approach this with the barbell? Any differently?
I think that, well, let's look and see. I don't know if there is a barbell version this week. There is. It's like burpees and then a bunch of lunges and thrusters and then burpees at the end. I think. Let me think. I gotta see because I've been working on the team versions now, so I can't remember. The barbell version is 15 rounds of 1 power clean, 2 front rack lunges, and 3 thrusters. After 15 rounds, you got to stop and do 30 burpees.
Oh man. Okay.
And then another 15 rounds.
Shoot.
That's fun. I
That's
would
a
do
fun
that
version.
version. Maybe I'll do that version.
Yeah. Because that's totally. Oh, this is where we lost them.
And you were done.
Boom.
10:35. You can see this the last thruster. Look at it.
You know how I know your dumbbells
10:47.
went. Yeah.
You beat by 12 seconds.
So by 1 rep, yeah.
No,
Less.
each rep was 20 seconds. 15. Dang. That's pace.
All right.
I'm gonna give a little Easter egg on next week's vault
Hit it.
because I know people that because of when we announced it. Do I still have dry shampoo in my hair that I need to rub in? Next week's vault, you guys can spread the word. It has similar movements to Murph.
It does. It has very similar.
So I'm just putting this out there because I know a lot of people in our community do Murph.
Mm-hmm.
There will be an option to log Murph and count it as the vault because the workouts are, I want to say the workouts are similar in movement. They're not similar in like volume necessarily,
Right.
but they are similar in movements so that it would work out in the programming and it's not going to mess you up in the programming flow if you decide to do Murph instead of the vault.
Totally.
So I'm just throwing
Cool.
that out there. You guys
Awesome.
can share that next week's vault, not this week's,
Cool.
obviously.
Well, let's kick it off. All right. So
Because
we're
Monday is Memorial Day.
That's right. Monday's Memorial Day. That's right. All right. Cool. First, let's take a look at this week's programming. So you're going through 3 weeks in now.
This will be my 3rd week.
Following it straight through. You know, I've actually seen somebody post about it as well that they're on board with doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
after
it's,
listening to the
some,
podcast, and I thought it was
some
super
people.
cool.
Oh my gosh, sorry, Eva. Some people commented on my post that I did about it. That
I
they're
love
like,
it.
all right, fine, I'll do it too. You know.
Yeah. Okay, so this is very appropriate. So tomorrow's workout is 20 minutes of quality movement, especially since, as you can see, the vault is going to push you a little bit more towards the side of intensity. Okay. And definitely, probably feeling some good soreness after that from those thrusters. I mean, you're looking at, that was like 90 thrusters, right?
Yes.
90 thrusters, however many lunges. Okay. So what we have here looks like accumulate 20 seconds of a handstand hold. That's fun.
Yep, and there is like, if you guys want to check out, there's like in the extra challenge for someone like you, you would add 10 seconds each time.
Accumulate 10 seconds of a handstand hold.
No, you would add 10 seconds to each of those handstand holds. So the first time you do a handstand hold, it'd be 20.
Okay.
The second time you do it, it'd be 30. The third time you do it, it would be 40. That's part of the extra challenge is what I'm saying.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you go into 12 push-ups or dumbbell bench press. Nice. I'm gonna
You
hit like a
missed the
little
pull-up part.
accumulate ladder of strict pull-up or feet elevated inverted row.
So your very first round, you would do 2 strict pull-ups and then 4 and then 6.
You know what? I actually am vibing with this one only because I would say we got that new pull-up attachment that allows me to be more in the what do you call this positioning here? Instead of here. There's the I forget what it's called. Anyway, instead of going wide, I don't know, it really bothers me sometimes. My elbows. So going in has helped me a lot and really appreciate the pull-ups.
That's good.
Yeah, so I might do those and then go into some nice fun dumbbell bench press. But again, it depends on what Salvi. If Salvi's like, hey, we're gonna do this fall, I was like, fine.
You mean today?
Yeah, today. But anyway, we're going towards this one here though. Yeah, that's gonna be great. Now, my tip is going to be for those of you guys who want to play around with the accumulation of a handstand hold. Okay, definitely even going in the inverted position and getting yourself up into a wall walk. Just walk yourself up a wall and just hold there. That's a great way to start to build your confidence and also just to really focus on your positioning. Right, keep your toes on that wall. Keep your midline nice and tight. You shouldn't have like a little bent back on the wall at all.
Yeah, I think another option if the wall walk you tend to get really overextended is to pike on a box.
The piking on the box.
You'll get into like a push-up position on the box, and then walk your hands back till your hips, just your butt is over the top of your shoulders and your head. So you don't have to keep your legs straight. And a lot of times you're going to be able to get into a better position where you're not overextending. So I really like, especially like even with our kids, we'll do the pike on the box a lot because they go super overextended in a handstand.
Totally. And this is one of those too, if you have the time, thank you, neutral grip, into a neutral grip for the pull-ups. If you have the ability, this is one of those, we're going for quality for 20 minutes and you're like, hey, I just want to get a little bit more movement in that doesn't require me to be doing gymnastics or bench press. Hop on any cardio machine that you have, if you have one, and maybe just go on a 10-minute, run, bike, row at a steady state, and that'll be some fitness for the day.
In the extra, if you go into, anytime you want something like that, in the endurance programming, like in the section of endurance extra programs, there's the extra endurance, I think is what it's called. And there's like a 30-minute steady state in there. Cool. There's like some options for that.
That's cool.
Kind of stuff, so they're still loggable.
Nice.
What I'm trying to say.
There we go.
Also keep with this one, I think, make sure to take a look at the shift version. It's 14 minutes, but you're going to be doing a plank hold instead of a handstand hold. You're going to be doing the inverted rows and push-ups, and then they're all the same movements, but it's, simplified enough that if any of that stuff looks overwhelming to you. So it might be that you don't change the whole thing, but you're like, I have some sort of issue with going upside down, or I feel like I'm not strong enough to hold my body weight, or I'm nervous about that. Then you're like, all right, I'm going to do this plank hold instead, but do the rest of it the way that it's written or whatever. So make sure you guys check out the shift version of that one as well for options. And then there's program B has options with like, the barbell bench press instead of the dumbbell bench press. Program C has the sandbag pressing or a suitcase carry instead of the farmer carry. So look through all of it, mix and match it how you want. But yeah, you're just going to be moving for 20 minutes on that one.
That's cool. I like that. I do.
Kind of like a little, just like a little grunt work, almost like gymnastics grunt work session.
Totally. All right. And now hitting us to Wednesday. We're on week 3 of the endurance focus workout. I would say I was a huge fan of week 2. I was a huge fan of last week's, which was like the easy into the moderate, into the hard. It's because for me, the week before, it's like when you were doing repeat 400s, we're used to doing that. We're used to doing the repeats, but pacing it like that though, that was a nice change of pace for me personally. That was great. All right. So going into Wednesday, test and sustain a max effort woohoo. Wow. Max effort 1 mile run, rest 5 minutes into 800 meter. Rest at mile pace. Okay, cool. And then 6 minutes, and then 600 meter, and then faster than your mile pace 400, and then very hard 200. Wow. Okay. Well, you guys are gonna be very nice and warmed up by the time you get into the 200 meters of a full sprint.
Yeah. Okay. So like this one, so people know when you're reading it, you're supposed to run a mile pretty much as fast as you can. I mean, you have 5 minutes of a rest.
Right.
Maybe not like a mile PR necessarily because you still got to run afterwards, but like pretty, this is like an all-out effort here. And then for the 800 and the 600, whatever your pace was. So that might be hard for people to figure out.
Right.
Unless you're on a track and you're like looking at your watch
Exactly.
and doing, or like you're on the assault runner.
Sure.
It's a little bit easier on, it's super easy on the rower because it says your pace, or
Right.
on the bike. But ideally so whatever your 100 meters pace was, or your 400 meter times were in that mile, you would want to do that same pace for the 800 and the 600.
Go grab it, buddy.
Go get it. No. We can't do the singing bear right now while Mama and Papa are doing filming. Can you go play outside, please? No.
He's trying to negotiate with us. Okay, just hey. Okay, grab the singing bear. Don't turn it on.
No turning it on. It's very hard for me. I don't know if it's hard for a man.
It's super hard.
But
It's
I
very
literally might as well be inside of a washing machine right now. Like trying to.
Anyway, so you were saying it's really hard unless you're like on a rower because it really tells you on your pacing. So
well,
you're trying
unless
to get
you're like really skilled at like, okay, like I remember when we used to work with Hinshaw.
Mm-hmm.
He would be like, all right, you're 100, you're going to be on 30-second hundreds. And so I could look down every 100 meters and see if I was running the right pace that I was supposed to run.
Right.
Now, unless you've practiced that a lot, it's really challenging to do. So you're going to have to go off of feel a little bit unless you're on a track or something like that.
Right.
And that's okay. Just, but the point of it is to start to push out how long you can hold that type of a pace for.
Right.
Now you have a lot of rest in this one.
Wait, Curry, or I'm gonna have to take you out of the room.
And then toward the end, you're really going to push to finish.
Wait.
So it's not, a lot of times when you see a workout like this, your assumption would be, okay, I'm going to run the mile fast, and then I'm going to run the 800 meters at a faster pace and the 600 meters at a faster pace. And then that doesn't happen until you get to the 400. So the 800 and the 600 should feel the same. You should be moving the same pace that you moved your mile.
Right.
And if you're unable to do that, like with accuracy with your watch or whatever, you're just going to have to go by feel, and that's totally fine. And you're not going to fail or mess up or anything.
You know, I've been also, it was really nice to observe how many people have shifted over to if you're new, because this kind of stuff that we're talking about requires a level of experience or some kind of awareness, whether you're a watch wearer or something. I really appreciate seeing some of the staff go to the time version.
Yeah, totally.
It's been awesome.
Well, yeah, we had a cool experience with that with me and Caitlin last week.
Yes.
Where her rounds ended up being almost identical to my rounds. I was doing the actual distance, she was doing the time. And so totally, you could do the time version of this one. And I'm sure that those times are going to be, I mean, it's a good workout regardless of how far you go. So but for example, if you run an 8-minute mile, your 800 should be 4 minutes.
Yes.
If you run an 8-minute mile, your 600 should be, 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just, you'll know if you hit the pace, but I just wanted to say, if you don't hit the pace, if you run too fast or too slow after the mile, you haven't like ruined the workout or anything like
you have not. And remember, a lot of these are going to be a lot of trial and error, and you're going to get to learn a lot about yourself by doing these, which are super cool. And to be honest, for someone who thought that I was actually going to want to do the mixed modality way more frequently, I've just stayed to one, which I kind of surprised myself. I thought I was going to be bouncing around back and forth.
You just want to run.
I'm in the
run.
run.
You're a local 5K professional.
I'm a local 5K professional. I've taken 2 first places recently in the last month.
Yeah, I think you're going to start to be known in the circuit here in Vancouver.
I'm about to make a main name for myself under the Y Racing.
You're going to be an ambassador. They might try to sponsor you.
Which would be awesome. Salvi, what do you think? Salvi can jump in as well and be.
He's also first place twice, isn't he?
Salvi didn't do the first one because he was filming, but he's got 1 first place under his belt now. Yeah, which is great.
That's really great.
Cool. Well, let's go ahead and move on
to get a run club going with the Y people.
Get a run club going? That'd be cool.
Yeah, with like the gel packs and fanny packs and all that stuff.
Awesome. I like it. Thursday. So we have part 1. We have we got a tempo kind of day.
Yeah, go program B, because
cool.
that's going to be the version that was created first for this one.
Sounds good. We got part 1. We got some back squats. We got 2-minute rest. Back squats, 2-minute rest, 3. Okay,
it's just 3 sets of back squats.
Yeah, so we're going heavy. We're going heavy day, which is appropriate because hey, now that we're following it, is it what you call it, linear?
No,
it's not linear. Now that you're following the programming as is, all of it flows very beautifully. Because if you look at Wednesdays, right, we just focus on going hard on endurance, and now we're going to go back and we're going to shift over to some strength. So let you kind of spend a little bit more.
Yeah. So, I mean, as Danny and Chelsea and Alex and I have been programming this stuff, we just spent earlier in the year 3 months lifting heavy. And a lot of times what people will do is when they have a focus, they do their focus and then they kind of throw everything else to the wayside. And what we're trying to show you guys is, hey, there's still room and there's still a place for heavy days. We're not going to do it every Wednesday like we've been doing, but we are still going to mix that stuff in because we want you guys to maintain that. They can be a great way to change the intensity that's going on. So obviously vault was very intense. Tuesday was more of like a skill day, mover. Wednesday is going to be intense with that all out mile. And then, you know, the 400 and the 200 meter sprints basically at the end of that. So it's like, all right, what are we missing here? And that's really what we look at with the programming. And it's like, well, nothing's really been heavy yet because even the vault, it's not heavy. It was just like high volume with your dumbbells. Most people, I'm assuming, will do the dumbbell version of that workout. So we're going to do some, just 3 sets though. And that's where people think like, well, if I'm going to lift heavy, I've got to do a 5x5 or a 10x2 or whatever. And it's like, what we're doing here with these back squats is like, we're getting your neuromuscular system to still be used to like firing all your motor units at once. That's all very nerdy talk. Now I sound
we love it. We love it.
Huberman or something. And it's like, all right, we're spiking the hormones with this like couple heavy sets. And then that's it. And that's all that we need to maintain that at, you know, with our focus being endurance right now. And then there's a part 2, which, you know, we're always very careful in the street parking programming to not have a lot of workouts that have multiple parts because we don't want you guys in your gyms for too long or in your garages for too long. But 3 sets of heavy back squats. And then you're going to go into just this little descending ladder of burpees and front squats, which at this point, there's really no warm up needed between part 1 and part 2. You're already ready. You lower the weight on your bar and you go. And part 2's total time, we're looking at like 10 to 15 minutes, even with that rest in there. So you're totally going to be able to get through this 30, 40 minutes, the whole thing. And the other day, last week, there was some heavy squatting. I want to say front squats actually on Thursday as well. And I was feeling really tired last week. I think we had a little bug going on in our family because Knox got actually sick. And it was date night. And I told you I want to work out. I got to do the workout because I've said that I'm going to do all of them. That's normally my rest day. And I went in and I think it was 7 sets of whatever this little workout was. It had heavy front squats in it. And I just added weight as I went. I didn't do 7 heavy sets. It was heavy by the end. By the time I got to sets like 5, 6, and 7, but I still did the movements. And so I'm just sharing this story to tell you that that kind of thing is allowed. So if you're like, oh man, I'm pretty wrecked, like skip part 1 if you need to, or don't go as heavy as maybe you sometimes would on part 1 as you know, and just, I'm going to do squats that are moderately heavy, but I'm not feeling like really going for it. Totally fine. Or if you're feeling great, this is an opportunity for you to do that. And maybe you skip part 2. We encourage you to do both parts if you can, but fitness freedom with that stuff as well. I don't like that.
Okay. All right. Moving on to Friday. So we're now.
There's shift options for that too. So even if you're not normally a shifter, you can check that stuff out.
Oh, you're talking about for Thursdays, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Thursdays. Cool. Moving on to Friday. So now
I feel like you're gonna really like this one.
Yeah, this is fun. I'm already looking at it.
Are you looking at the endurance version?
Endurance focus.
Look at the normal. Let's look at the normal version first, and then we'll go to the.
You want me to look at program A? I'll probably do program B. I'm down with like the barbell push press, but you know what though? Ever since Project April and kettlebells,
I know.
I like bringing the kettlebells back in.
I love kettlebells for shoulder.
I'm telling you. Remember how I said at the beginning? I love the kettlebells way. I would pick kettlebells over dumbbells now.
I think kettlebells for me on shoulder to overhead, it's such a challenge that I did that last week with the workout with me, you, and Caitlin when we did, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? But yeah, so the program A, B, C version is 30 toes to bar, 400 meter or equivalent bike row, 60 push press, 400 meter, 30 toes to bar. Obviously, there's the alternating V up or V up options on here. You could always do a weighted sit up if you wanted to. So that's the main version. That's the original version that was written. You've got 2 400, so a total of 800 meters of running, 60 toes to bar and 60 push press,
Mhm.
which I think that I could totally see you normally doing that workout with the hill run.
Yes.
Now there's the endurance focus. Keep in mind, because I heard Julian this last week saying like, wait, why is the endurance workout on Friday instead of Saturday? We programmed the whole week first, and then we looked at Friday and Saturday, which one of these makes more sense to turn into an endurance focus. And so sometimes they'll be on Friday and sometimes they're on Saturday.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, I'm really vibing with this whole week in general. I'm trying to right now. I might pick up on tomorrow's because Tuesdays we do the team endurance as team bonding there
In the parking lot.
in the parking lot. Yeah, so I'm gonna jump and probably do tomorrow salvi. I might have to because the last thing I want to do is. Oh, wait, can I pull this off? Yeah, I guess I could do that. Hit intensity today and hit the endurance. You know what? Now I'm getting to a place where
Now
I
you
feel
want to
like
do all 6 days.
I want to do all 6 days. I want to do all 6 days, and I'm really sad. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
But yeah, so the endurance focus is that exact same workout, except for 30 push press in, you're going to stop and run a mile.
Yeah.
And then pick it back up.
Hmm. The only thing, I mean, even I'm looking forward to. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I don't have any much to say, to be honest, other than I might debate whether I change out the toast bar to GHC sit-ups.
You know, and there's one thing that I'm sad about this house,
Hmm.
because it is the season for if we that I know a lot of people with that 400. I'd be super down for a 200-meter sled push for this one.
A sled push.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I can get the turf.
Yeah, but it's just not this.
It's not like the same
exactly
out.
the
I mean, because it
same.
was just like an out and in, and our neighbors just loved that.
And you were just yeah. We will get the turf outside, right?
Yeah, totally.
But it'll be a lot of turning around
A lot
and
of turning around,
and we don't
turning
have
around.
it now, which I'm saying, like, I would love to have done this workout with the sled push.
I know.
For those 400s.
I know.
So, but I'm inviting all of you that have sleds
Yeah.
to do that. And this is the season where I know people love to do that kind of stuff.
Sabi, let's take a note. Let's set up the outdoor setup. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of outdoor
I'm just waiting
fitness.
for that sauna.
It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. Windows, okay. All right, cool. Moving on to Saturday. 5 rounds each. We're on a 3-minute clock here. We got jump overs and dumbbell snatches. So whether you're be doing dumbbells or barbell or ground to overhead, and then we have on the other minute, box jump overs and wall walk.
And then you got a rest minute.
Is there a Glory Days version of this? I'm assuming there's going to be.
I think.
Max reps, I don't think so. So yeah, this is one of those. Look, if you want to switch it up and do handstand push-ups or ring muscle ups, have fun with it.
You could also totally add strict ring muscle ups into
Yeah,
tomorrow's workout.
that's right. You can.
Like do 1 and then the next round do 2, or just keep it at 1 if you know.
Right. It's very challenging.
Mhm.
But yes. Cool. I mean, hey, say no more. Enjoy the programming, guys. I mean, this is what comments do you have to say on that on Saturdays?
I'm just looking at there's a team version of it.
Whoa.
So always check out the team version, because I think that those are always really fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to be flying out of town this weekend. So remember, just a reminder for those of you guys watching right now, if you guys are YouTubers, there will be no Word on the Street episode this Friday because we'll be out shooting a vault for round 2. Okay. But yeah, this is going to be a great week of programming. You have any final words?
No.
No.
Enjoy. I can't wait to see how the vault goes for everyone.
Yeah, let us know. Keep checking in. Honestly, I've been loving seeing everybody's posts on Facebook and Instagram. Keep checking in with us on both platforms. It's been really cool. I love it.
Great.
Awesome. All right, guys. Take care.